Hey, what's going on guys? Ricky Bush Racing here. Hope you're having a awesome day. A couple of months ago I made a video about my top 5 road cars in Project Cars 2. And after I did that video I thought to myself I have to do this with racing cars as well. Only a half a year later and here we are. I'm gonna rank my top 5 racing cars in Project Cars 2. And this is not an easy task. There are a lot of different cars in Project Cars 2 and to get this right is almost impossible. I'm sure I will leave some cars behind that should probably be on this top 5 list, but yeah, here we go guys. So in last place on this list, which really doesn't mean last, but in 5th place, the Porsche 962C. There are two 962Cs. The Langhek and the regular 962 in Project Cars 2. Doesn't really matter which one you choose, both are amazing cars, the entire Group C are amazing cars. I just love this 80s turbocharged, high horsepower, high downforce, old school racing cars. So what's my argument for choosing the Porsche over the other Group C cars? And to be honest, I really don't have one. All of the cars in Group C are pretty awesome. This is just my personal favorite, this and the Nissan. So yeah, the Porsche 962C takes the 5th spot on my top 5 list. And yeah, you guessed it, another personal favorite, the Corvette C7R, the GTE race car. Looks absolutely gorgeous, sounds amazing, that V8 power really comes through in Project Cars 2. But yeah, it's just a really fun car to drive. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten around to race the GTE cars a whole lot at all. I think I've uploaded one race on my YouTube channel in the GTE cars when I drove the Corvette C7R, because it's my favorite. But awesome car, 500 horsepower, 1245 kilos, 0 to 16, 3.2 seconds. Just one of those cars that I would love to race more in Project Cars 2. And we might have an AOR social race where we will be racing the GTE cars and I will be driving the Corvette C7R around Saquito. And here I actually have a couple of arguments to why I like this Corvette more than the other GTE cars, because there are a lot of other GTE cars. First of all, this car isn't in the GT3 category in Project Cars 2. I know the Callaway Corvette exists in real life, but it doesn't in Project Cars 2. Which makes this car a bit more special, and I haven't driven it a whole lot, but the way it looks, the way it sounds, the interior looks absolutely awesome. So yeah, that's why it takes 4th place here. Here we have a pretty odd choice. Not the personal favorite, it's just an awesome car to drive in Project Cars 2. It's the Toyota hybrid LMP1 car from 2014, and I actually haven't driven this car a whole lot, but driving it around Saquito here was just, holy shit, it was a lot of fun. This car is awesome. I would love to race this car in some kind of league. I say that about a lot of cars, but there's so many cars that are a lot of fun to drive in Project Cars 2. Either way, why did I choose this car over the other LMP1 cars? And that's pretty simple. This car has 1000 horsepower and the others don't. It does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It's just a beast of a car. The way this thing gets out of corners with that 4-wheel drive is just, and it's so planted to the road. It's kind of crazy. All the LMP1 cars has really grown on me lately. When I first started playing Project Cars 2, I did not like the LMP1s in Project Cars 2. I don't know what happened with them, or if they updated them, or it was a patch. I have no idea. All the LMP1 cars are pretty awesome to drive. This is my favorite. That's why it takes 3rd place here. Here we have a car that was actually really close on grabbing 1st place on my top 5 list here. The BMW 320 Turbo, the old Group 5 car from 1978. It's probably not the fastest car on this list, but it might actually be the most fun car on this list. I never raced this car online because no one ever races it for some reason. I know the balance of performance in the Group 5 category is really bad, but why not just race this car? look at the interior. It's just an awesome car. The way it handles, driving this thing around Mazda Raceway here is, yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. And now we're coming back to what's my argument for choosing this car over the other Group 5 cars, and there are some awesome ones. We have the Nissan Skyline, we have the Porsche 935, we have the Ford Capri. What else do we have? I think we have some kind of Datsun as well, but this is bar none my favorite car in the Group 5 category. It's the way it drives, it's just so nimble, so light, looks absolutely awesome, both interior and exterior. And here it comes again. If it's one car that I would love to race in an online league, it's this thing. This is first. Even ahead of the Toyota LMP1 in second place, this would be my choice. If I'm lucky, maybe some AOR admin watches my videos and sees this video and listens to me, and we can get racing in this car someday. But yeah, that's why it takes second place on my top 5 list here. Can you hear which car this is? Yeah, number 1 on my list, the Ford Bronco 4-wheel drive. It's just the way this thing understeers, especially around Bathurst here, makes it a really nice car to drive. When it's so tricky with all the walls close to you, and when it understeers you can really feel that front end grip. Not really. This was a joke, guys. This car is a piece of shit. Now on to the real first car. This is a sound that I think a lot of you would recognize. I know I would have. And yeah, guys, you guessed it. It's the Ferrari 488 GT3, probably the most raced car in all of Project Cars 2. My favorite category in Project Cars 2 is still the GT3 cars, because I've done so many races in these cars, especially this Ferrari. It's my most driven car in Project Cars 2, and I had so many great moments and so much fun in this car. It had to take first place, even though it definitely isn't my personal favorite. But when it comes to racing and racing cars, this car, it's definitely my favorite in the GT3 cars. And I know it's fast. It's been a lot of talk that this car is faster than the other GT3 cars. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But there's just a lot of reasons to why this car is first on my list. Like I said, the first one would be I had so much fun in this car. But another thing that I just like about this car is when you make a setup for a car, you can really, as soon as you change something, you could feel it instantaneously when you go out on the track in this car. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like the Slightly Mad Studios team spent a lot more time making this car, if you were to compare it to a lot of other cars. And it has all those characteristics that you want in a race car, in my opinion. It has that quick, responsive, nimble front end, and it likes to oversteer as well, or it doesn't like to understeer. That's the way I probably should put it, and that's the way I love my cars to drive, and that's probably why this car suits me so good. Which is going to make it an even harder choice to choose my car for GT3, AOR GT3 Season 10 that's coming up, because the Ferrari has been banned. I have absolutely no clue on which car to drive, but I guess we'll find that out. Either way, it takes first place on my list here, like I said. Awesome car, awesome car. So yeah, that was my top 5, guys. This was a hard list to make and to get right. There are a couple of honorable mentions here. The Renault Clio Cup car is a lot of fun to drive, and I know it's a lot of fun to race in. What else do we have? We have all the touring cars, which are pretty awesome as well, which I'm racing on Wednesday night. We also have a couple of open wheelers that are fun. The Formula Renault is actually a really fun car to drive. The Formula X is an awesome car to drive around the North Clyfed. There's just so many cars in Project Cars 2, and to compose a top 5 list, yeah, it's not easy, and I know that a lot of you won't agree with this list, and that's fine. This is my top 5 list. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.